Hello. Hi everybody. I haven't been on here in a while, but I thought I'd pop in to share a few thoughts with you. I don't know about you, but I have been hearing a whole lot lately about this book. It's called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. I just feel like I've been hearing this, like seeing and hearing about this book all over social media, all over blogs. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Give me some hearts if you have even heard of this book. Like if you know anything about this book. It looks like a lot of you know about this book. Type in the comments, just say yes if you've actually read it. I'm curious. Oh, you own it. Okay, great. So yeah, I'm just totally curious if you guys own this book, have read this book, know about this. I just felt like I had to read it because of all the people that were like, oh my goodness, I love this book, it's so motivating. I was like, all right, I gotta read it, and I'm almost done with it, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you. First, type in the chat box, say new if you're new to me, like if you haven't heard one of my scopes before, if you don't know who I am, let me know, so I can give you a little background. All right, you're new. So I'm Laura. Oh wow, we have lots of new people here. Yeah, I haven't really scoped in a little while. I'm hoping to get back into it regularly. But I'm Laura. I'm the creator of the I Heart Planners blog and the Sweet Life Planner Club. I've been helping people get organized and creating tons of planners and printables for the last 3 years. And I live in Pittsburgh with my husband and my 14-month-old daughter. So to start off about this book, I'm going to say that I do really like this book. So I'm going to tell you what I don't necessarily agree with about this book, but I'm going to do another scope later about what I do like about this book, and I promise you the list of what I like is way longer than the list of what I don't like, and I'll probably mention that a couple times. I don't want you guys to think that this book is terrible. I like this book. I was very inspired. I think it's great, but in case you've read it too and you're like, I don't know if I agree with everything, I'm just gonna let you know what didn't really click with me when I read the book. So the first thing is, she talks about, like, she goes through a whole section in the beginning about how if you use her method of tidying, and you need to keep in mind, when she uses the word tidying, I kind of think of just like general kind of straightening, but she's using it as like major organizing. So that's kind of what she means when she says the word tidying. But she says if you use her method of tidying, you're not going to rebound. And rebound, she means you're not going to go back to your old ways of having clutter or being untidy or something like that. Now, I think there's a lot of merit in her and what she says about how she recommends going about tidying, and kind of her difference is she wants you to do it kind of all at once instead of this like little at a day, and I think there's a lot of merit to that. And I think she's very right when she talks about how that'll just make a bigger, yeah, she does spend a lot of time on her childhood, but she says that'll make a bigger impact than just like doing a little at a time, and that'll keep you motivated. And I totally agree. Like, sometimes when you do something like, and you can really see the difference, that is going to help you stay motivated. So there is a lot of merit to that. But at the same time, I think what she's leaving out about the not rebounding is if all you do is you focus on decluttering and getting your house in perfect order, that alone is not going to keep you on a daily basis in the good habits of, washing your dishes, putting things away. You actually have to focus on creating those good habits, not just on cleaning your house. And so I kind of think she misses a little bit of, you really have to create those daily habits. Like, just being wildly impressed with how orderly your house is isn't going to make you and your family put things away on a consistent basis. So I think I kind of think she misses that. And okay, ask me how I know. My baby was born a little over 14 months ago, and my house wasn't disorganized or cluttered before that. But before she was born, I went into like mega nesting mode, and I mean, I'm telling you, like, for a blissful 2 or 3 weeks before she was born, she actually came on her due date, everything in my house was in order. There was no clutter. Everything was in order. Like, the laundry room was perfectly organized. Everything was labeled. Like, everything was great. I'm telling you, it is 14 months later. that is not the case anymore. So I'm living proof that just because you get your house in perfect order once, and by the way, that's the only time my house has ever been in like perfect order, it doesn't mean it's gonna stay that way. And life is gonna happen. Like, okay, a baby, I mean, that's a big deal, and other life events are gonna happen. So if you feel like that isn't all it takes to stay tidy, I don't think you're alone. Yes, and you can't really finish. It is ongoing work. All right. The other thing, another thing that I couldn't quite I didn't find myself agreeing with is she personifies a lot of her items. So like her socks. I don't know if I can say it exactly how she says it, but she wants to let them rest and thank them for, you know, the work of protecting her feet. Well, I don't really think of my purse and my socks and my things as living beings, as like living things. I think of like maybe animals, possibly plants because they are alive, and people, but I do not do that with my belongings. So just something I personally, if that helps you, you know, great, go ahead. But I think if you're not into that, you can still glean a lot from the book, and you can still use the practices, even if you're not into like thanking your purse for doing its job and things like that. One thing I've done as a Christian is instead of like thanking my purse, I try to look at it as being thankful that God has blessed me with these items and that I can be a good steward of them. And so I kind of changed it to my own belief system. So that's something that you could do. And like I said, just wanted to mention that I do like the book overall, and I'm going to go on another scope and tell you what I liked, but there are just a few things I think I have to get out there first that I don't 100% agree with, but I still think you can learn a lot from the book. Okay, another thing that she recommends that I just cannot get myself on board with is she says you should empty your bag daily. So you should come home, and I don't know, she talks about her purse. I don't know what she would say about a diaper bag. I'm telling you, I'm not unpacking my diaper bag every day, but she like takes all the stuff out of her purse and like puts it away, puts her purse away. Now she does talk about having multiple handbags. I only have one. So maybe it would be different if you're like switching out purses every day. But if you have one, I'm sorry, but like, I personally, like, I have a spot for my purse and I put it away, but I'm like, when I'm getting ready to leave and like my little, you know, baby is roaming all about, and I'm like, I don't want to have to be, you know, gathering up all my stuff in my purse. Like, I want stuff to be ready to go. I mean, I leave my diaper bag packed in the car at all times. I try to check each night to make sure there's everything that we need, like in the diaper bag, so that I can go quickly. Like if I want to go somewhere, it doesn't take a lot of effort to get ready and go. So I just wasn't on board with the whole empty your purse every day, but I can see I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think if you don't want to do that, I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay. Again, loved the book overall, just a few things I couldn't get on board with. Another thing that I could not get on board with, and the reason I don't like this is because I personally have tried it in the definitely empty pockets. Those things, have you ever had anything like a pen get washed? That happened to me once. Definitely not. Don't do that. Make sure your pockets are empty. But she says first of all, she says to fold your clothes versus hanging them because they take up less space. I haven't found that to be the case. I actually find hanging takes less space. I don't know. But also she wants you to like fold them in a certain way and like stack them kind of vertically. Okay. So that sounds like a good idea. Like I've seen pictures of that and it looks like really neat and you can see everything. So sounds like a great idea. But when I tried it, like I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but they fell over. Like I don't actually have a lot of clothes and I don't do laundry, like my own laundry every day. And so they would just like fall over. And the other problem that I was running into is it was like taking up more space in my drawer, especially in deep drawers. I wasn't able to get as many items in. So that, I mean, I like the method, and I think for some people, depending on your clothing and how small you're able to fold it, it might work well, but that was not the method that worked for you. Okay, so I kind of wish I kind of want to see this in person for someone that it works for. I feel like maybe, because like she's describing all this in words, so it's a little bit harder to visualize. So I think maybe if I had the right technique, I would like that method better. But like something like this thin, like this is a very thin material shirt, there's no way this would stand up. She might recommend hanging it, I don't know. I do hang, like I don't hang t-shirts, but I hang like pretty much all my other, you know, nicer shirts that I wear out. Okay, the only other thing that I like, but I think she might take it too far. So she says you should touch every item in your home when you're deciding what to get rid of and see if it sparks joy. I really like that because I think it releases you from a lot of like sitting there and being like, well, I might use this item someday, because I also am a fan of ruthless decluttering, because I mean, clutter, it just, it doesn't really make us happy, and usually we don't need those things that we save, so I'm a big fan of that. And she talks about sparking joy, and that's, I kind of like, because I'm a very practical person, I kind of like how she focuses on the emotional side and kind of gives you permission to get rid of, just if it doesn't spark joy, don't keep it. It's as simple as that. So I really like that. At the same time, I have a hard time seeing how that would work for everything. For clothes, maybe, and I do have a little bit of a practical side, but I'm like thinking, okay, so when I go through my cleaning items and I pick up my toilet bowl brush, okay, I'm telling you, it does not spark joy, but I'm not getting rid of it because I think I need it. And so I think there's a few items that fall into that like practical category that I feel like I do need to keep. Even some kitchen items, they don't really spark joy for me, but I kind of do have that practical side that's like, okay, I mean, my food processor doesn't really spark joy, but I use it, and so I think there's a little bit of a practicality that needs to enter the picture. So that's kind of my my thoughts on the things that I wasn't 100% on board with. And like I said, I will come back. I'm not sure. Can't commit to exactly when, but I would definitely come back and scope about, I have an even longer list of things that I really liked about the book and that I learned and that I'm going to take away, and I'm going to try to implement some of the system. I'm not going to do the whole thing because, I don't know, that just overwhelms me, and I kind of did it unofficially before my baby was born. I don't even store my children's clothes between seasons anymore. Yeah, she recommends, and I actually like this, and this is the way I've always done it. She recommends that you don't like switch out your clothes for seasons. And I never do. I guess I don't have that many clothes, so it's just a lot of hassle. Now my daughter is only 14 months, so she doesn't really have seasons yet, because obviously she's not wearing at 14 months what she wore like a year ago at 4 months or 2 months or something. So I just I pack her clothes away and put them in the attic when she outgrows them, in case we have another girl in the future that would use them. And of course, if we don't, I'll just get them out and donate them. But yeah, that is one of the things that I like that she recommended. I just think it's a lot less hassle. So it sounds like some of you guys have read the book and you liked it. Does anybody else have anything else that they either liked or didn't like in the book that they want to share? Like I said, here's the book in case you just hopped on and you don't know. I couldn't imagine storing all my clothes and coats in one closet, as the author suggested. Yeah, my coat. Well, I guess I do have my coats. I guess I do. But if you have a really tiny closet, I think that could be difficult. Now, she does recommend folding everything. Although I think if you have that, you need a really big dresser. So I think she's very prescriptive, but I think you can tailor it to make it work for you instead of having to do everything. My name on Instagram and Etsy is I Heart Planners. About to read it, yeah. Oh, and it's I found it to be a pretty easy, light read. I read it pretty quickly, so I think you'll enjoy it. You can, we have a coat closet. I'm not folding pea coats. Yeah, she actually doesn't recommend folding coats, dresses. There's a couple of little categories that she says you could hang, but everything else she likes folding. So it's very interesting. I would love to see. I think it'd be really interesting. I mean, I love reading the book, but I think it'd be so interesting if we could see this in person. I don't know. I feel like she should do some sort of video series or something like that, and I feel like I would be able to picture some of these things a lot better. But it's definitely very inspiring, and I definitely plan to. I may even try to scope. I'm not sure how this would work logistically, but I was thinking of trying to scope me kind of doing some of it, starting with I think she recommends starting with your tops and picking them up, seeing if they spark joy. So I thought about scoping that just to see how it goes, and honestly, I have no idea how it'll go. Instagram name is I Heart Planners, Etsy store is I Heart Planners. Okay, yeah, definitely check it out, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I'll be talking about this on my blog next week, I think.